Hey there drone fans, Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's video, I'd like to show you a portable power station that I think is the perfect companion for anybody that spends time in the outdoors. Whether you're camping, or maybe you're taking a long road trip with the family, or maybe you're a big fan of drones and you want to find a way to charge your drone batteries out in the field when you're away from home. This product can handle all that and more, and I think it's the perfect balance of internal capacity versus weight versus the number of ports. Now, I'm going to spend a little bit of time showing you all the things that I charge with this because I've got a ton of technology on this table, and every device you see here is something that I charge off of this particular product when I'm out in the field and away from home. And the product offers you a tremendous amount of advantages over a lot of other portable power stations, not only in the capacity, but in the internal electronics that protect the devices you're charging and also allow you to charge it very quickly. This product is called the River Mini, and it's from our good friends over at EcoFlow. Now, I've worked with EcoFlow for the last year or so, and I've reviewed a lot of their technology. I find this company to be incredibly innovative in the way they build their portable power stations. There's a lot of advanced technology built into it, and in general, I think this is the perfect balance of weight and capacity and number of ports to pretty much charge all of the thirsty portable devices I take out in the field. Now, the product itself is available in two different versions. I have the wireless version in front of me. They also make a standard version that's less expensive, but there are a few features missing between the standard version and the wireless version. So the wireless version has a Qi charging pad on the top where you can drop your phone on there. It'll wirelessly charge your phone. It also comes with an AC cord, a solar panel cord, and a DC cord you can use to charge the device at home, off of a solar panel, or off of your car outlet. That's really nice because when you're in the field, you want to use that DC cord to charge it from your car. If you buy the standard version, you don't have the Qi pad on the top, and you only get the AC cord. You don't get the solar panel cable, and you don't get the DC cable for your car. So for me, the difference in price really justifies going for the wireless version, if nothing more than just the Qi charger on top. And I love the way they've sort of built this with a concave where when you drop your phone on there, it just sits nicely in there. And it's got a rubber ring around the outside of it. So it makes it really easy to charge your phone. The unit itself is a 210 watt hour capacity, and it's got 300 watts of available power outside the unit. So all the combined ports on the unit, you can draw 300 watts externally. And that's a lot of power. It's an awful lot of power. And you can simultaneously charge a lot of different devices, which is something I love to do. So as far as ports go, it's got three sections to it. It's got a pure DC section, it's got a USB section, and it has an AC section on the side. So you can charge anything you'd plug into an outlet at home, you can charge anything you'd plug into your car, and you can charge anything you would plug into a standard USB charger on the wall. But there's a lot of advanced technology built in. So let me talk about the charging first. What I like about the unit is there is no external charging brick. A lot of the portable power stations you may look at have an external brick, and that's just something else you've got to keep track of. You may lose, it may break down the road. This one charges directly off the cord. This plugs right into a wall outlet, plugs into the side of the unit, and all of the conversion from AC to DC is done inside the unit. And that's really important because they've built in special circuitry that will very carefully sort of contour that AC voltage into the perfect DC voltage to charge those batteries. And they make adjustments as it's charging. And what that means is you can actually plug this into a wall outlet, and in under an hour, you can have 80% of the charge on the unit. If it's fully discharged, you can get it up to full charge in about an hour and a half. A lot of other portable power stations out there could take a couple of hours to actually get them fully charged. So I like the fact that no matter what I bring it home with as far as depletion, I can plug it in, and in less than an hour, I'm good to go because I don't want to sit around waiting for a portable power station to charge. I want to get outside and start flying my drones. A couple other things they've built into it is the availability of ports. A lot of the portable power stations in the market really limit the types of connections you can make, and more importantly, the intelligence in those connections. So let me start with the simplest one. There's a 12-volt outlet right here. Just like in your car, you can use anything with this outlet. You'd plug into your cigarette lighter in the car. That's a full 10 amps, 12 volts DC. So that's perfect if you've got car chargers for any of your devices. You can plug it in there and charge it just like you would in your car. There's also a USB section over here. This USB section has three full-sized USB-A ports. Each of those will deliver 5 volts at 2.4 amps, which is the maximum for a standard USB-A connection. But here's the key thing. They've included a USB-C port that's a PD port, which is power delivery that can provide 100 watts of power. Now, that may seem like just a number, but that's super important because a lot of the newer gear, the Skydio, for example, the Mavic 3 batteries, the Smart Controller require a very high-powered USB-C connection to fast charge them, and if you can't deliver that, you can't charge those devices, so that's a problem. They also provide 2 AC ports on the side over here that you can use with anything you would use a normal home charger with. So if you've got maybe a hub like this, that you want to charge your Mavic Air 2 batteries with, you can use the charger that came with the drone, plug it into the hub, plug it into the AC, turn it on, and charge those batteries, to your heart's content. So that's really nice. And then underneath the side over here, there's a little hood right here that'll open up. And that's where you make the connections for your external cable. So when you're going to charge it, there's an AC port right there that you use with the internal cable. And then there's a DC port above it that's used with both of the DC chargers. Now, one thing I do want to mention as part of the charging routine is that think about this as sort of a port expander for your car. And what I mean by that is the minute you plug this into your car outlet, everything becomes active. So you're charging the unit from your car, but you're also activating all of the ports. So what you've done essentially is taken a 12-volt outlet in your car and you've turned it into an AC inverter. You've turned it into 3 USB chargers. You've turned it into a Qi charger for the top, and you still have the port for the 12 volts. So essentially, once you plug this into your car, all these ports are active. And here's the best part. It also charges the unit. So if you're drawing less current out of this portable power station than you're using, in other words, if you're pushing more in at 10 amps than you're pulling out, it'll actually charge the internal battery as well. And then when you get to a location, unplug it from your car, take it with you out in the field, and you can charge everything else that you need to in the field. So it's got a charge through capability, which a lot of the portable power stations don't have. They'll charge from your car, but to use the outlet, you've got to disconnect that input because it can't charge and discharge at the same time. This one can, which is a pretty cool feature. I also love the fact that on the front, it gives you a really big display that tells you the available capacity left in the unit. But the other thing that's nice is it gives you 2 metrics on the amount of current that's coming in versus the amount of current that's going out. So when you plug this into your car, you'll know immediately how much current you're charging it with and how much of that current is being sent to external devices, so you can tell if it's going to fully charge or not. But for me, the best feature is right over here, that 43. That's telling me how much time is left in the internal battery capacity to charge the devices that are currently connected to it. So if I'm out in the field and I'm getting low on a little bit of power inside the unit, I'll look at that number and maybe I'll only plug a couple of things in that are really important, and it'll tell me, okay, Rick, with the available power left in the batteries, you've got another 20 minutes to charge these devices. So it tells me exactly how long I can use the unit. So I love that. It's also incredibly portable. It weighs about 6 pounds. That's not light, but again, it's got a lot of batteries in there, and it's based on nickel, manganese, cobalt batteries, which gives you a lot of recharge cycles. They're really clever about the way they charge those batteries, so they groom them. You're not going to go through a charge cycle really quickly. A lot of other portable power stations just start firing electrons at those batteries, and you're not going to get a long life out of it. This one, it's going to really extend the life. All right, so enough about that. Let's talk about what I charge. So everything here I charge, again, on a regular basis, and I love this cable because the minute I plug it into my car, it's like I've got this multi-charger plugged into my car, including an inverter, so it solves all my problems out in the field. So one of the things that I love about it is that I can charge multiple devices at the same time. So if you're flying the Air 2, Air 2S, the Mini 2, the Mavic 3, it'll charge this controller. It's a USB-C connection on the bottom, and all you have to do to charge that is turn the unit on. I didn't mention this, but each of these circuits, the AC, the USB, and the DC, all have separate power buttons. So if I'm only charging USB devices, I'll turn that on right there, and that'll actually activate that section of it, and I can use a standard USB-A to USB-C. So I'll just plug that into one of the USB-A connections, and if I can get it plugged in there, we'll be in good shape. One more time, Rick, get it in there. Nope, did I get it there yet? No, there we go. Okay, I should put my glasses on. Anyway, I'll plug this in, and boom, it starts charging. Okay, so that's pretty cool. It's charging that. Well, what if I want to charge the batteries at the same time? Well, all right, that's another USB-C. Let me plug that guy in. So I'll try it again. Let's see here. There we go. Got it first time that way. And I'll plug that in. So now I've got the batteries charging. There's the batteries charging, and I've got the controller charging. Well, what if at the same time I want to charge my phone? Well, no big deal. I can drop that on the Qi in the top. It starts charging my phone. But if I've got my Android phone or my tablet with me, I can plug another USB-C in the front, and I can charge my tablet at the same time. So what I'm trying to prove here is that you can charge a ton of different devices simultaneously off this USB connection.
I'm not sure I understand.
Whoa. All right, enough. Siri heard me there. Enough out of you, Siri. All right, so there's the Android charging. By the way, this is a fantastic. It's a Bison Pro. I'm going to be reviewing this on the channel. If you're looking for a fairly inexpensive Android device that works great with the drones, this is the one to go with, and I'll review this in a little bit. But back to the charger. So all these are charging at the same time, and I still have a USB-C port over there. Now you're thinking, what could I use a USB-C port for? Well, a ton of stuff. So if I want to plug in a USB-C, because it's PD, I'll use a straight USB-C to USB-C cable, and I'll plug that into the last available port right there. And as I plug that in, what do I want to charge there? I don't know. Let's charge something powerful. Let's try these. These are the Mavic 3 batteries, which, by the way, are impossible to charge off a standard USB charger. Look at that. They're fast charging right now in the hub. So imagine being in your car, you've plugged this into your cigarette lighter, you've got your Mavic 3 batteries on the seat, you've got the Mavic 3 battery charger, I should say controller being charged by it at the same time, you got your phone sitting on top of it, and you're charging a bunch of other stuff all from the same unit. And the cool thing is, if you look at the display, it's telling me right now I'm drawing about 78 watts out of the unit. 300 watt unit, so I'm only at about less than a third, about a quarter of what this thing can supply. But let's push it a little bit further. Let's pretend for a second that I want to charge my Air 2S batteries, and I can't charge those without the home charger, so that's something I got to bring along. I hope I have one of those. Yep, I do. Here we go. And I'll plug the AC in. Do I have the right one? Yeah, I do. This is the one. Okay. Got to make sure I got the right charger here. There's a lot of technology on the table. All right, so I'll plug this guy in. Let me turn the AC on over here. Okay, the AC is turned on, and I'll connect up the battery. So at the same time, now I'm charging the Air 2S battery. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have one more over here, 6, 7. I can charge 8 at the same time. Oh, do you hear the fan come on? That's because I'm running the inverter now. So I'm drawing current out of the inverter and the fan kicked on to keep everything cool. But I'm trying to illustrate is you can charge a ton of things from this, and I can plug this into my DC outlet in my car and charge the unit while I'm charging all these external devices, which is absolutely incredible. All right, a couple other things I wanted to show you that will actually take it a step further. So let me disconnect some of these things, because some of the larger current devices, like the smart controller, need that PD cable. And the problem is with the PD, not the problem, but the challenge is there's only one USB-C on the front right here. That's it. And right now I've got it charging my Mavic 3 batteries. Now I can use all the other USB connections at the same time. I can use the DC connection at the same time, and I can use the AC plus the Qi on the top. But what if I need a second USB-C PD charger that's above 65 watts? Well, it doesn't do that natively, but here's where we come to the rescue on that. We released this Drone Valley car charger a little while back. It's a 95 watt charger that has a 65 watt USB-C port on it, a full-size USB-A 2.4 amps, and a full-size USB-C at 2.4 amps. You can plug this into the DC port right here, just like that. And if I have to charge, let's say I want to charge my Skydio battery, this requires a lot of current to charge it, and it's a USB-C connection on the top. So let me plug in, where did I put the USB-C cable? Oh my gosh, I only have one of them, so I can't show you two. But all right, let me disconnect this for a second, plug it into the 65 watt port, which is, I believe, right there. I should put my glasses on, and I'll plug that into the Skydio. Hope I got the right port. So the minute I plug that in, did I turn that on? I didn't turn the DC on. Okay, so there's another switch over here. There's the DC. So the minute I turn that on, the DC charger, my car charger, becomes active, and I should be charging the port. I don't see it charging. So what am I doing wrong here? Let's see. That's on. That's on. Am I in the 65 watt? I am. Okay, let's see what's going on. Boom, there we go. All right, so right now it sees it, and it won't charge because I'm in the wrong port. Okay, so let me try and move that to the 65 watt, and that should change it, but I have to, of course, turn this guy off again, because once it sees power, it's going to stay on. So sorry about this. You can tell I didn't rehearse. There's no dry runs here. So I'll plug in the Skydio. Any second now it'll come on. It's thinking, gee, should I charge? Should I charge? There we go, it's charging. So essentially what you're seeing here, if I had another USB to USB-C cable, I could show you both 65 watts working at the same time. But when I'm taking the Skydio out in the field, I'll use this car charger, which seems redundant because I could just plug it into my car. But again, plugging this into my car is sort of daisy chaining this, which allows me to charge my Skydio, the smart controller, all of the batteries that I have in front of me at the same time. So essentially what you're getting here, let me turn this guy off because I don't want it to go through power on self-test. What you're getting here with this portable power bank is essentially a portable power solution that once you disconnect it from your home connection or your car, you can take it out in the field and you can charge all these things completely untethered. So you're totally off grid. But if you want to use it in your car while you're driving a location or you're on a long road trip, imagine plugging this guy in and having all these ports available for the kids to charge up their video games, their phones, their tablets, whatever they're using. Your wife, your son, your husband, whatever it happens to be, can use all of these. Plus you've got AC on the side. Now, I don't know if a lot of you use these newer DC portable freezers. I use one of those when we're going camping, and you plug it into a 12 volt outlet. This will support a smaller one of those as well. So when we go camping, I can set this up, charge my phone, charge my drone batteries, keep some drinks nice and cool in that freezer, all off this tiny little unit. And the only restriction here is that it's only 210 watt hours, which isn't gigantic. I mean, EcoFlow makes bigger units as well that have a lot more capacity. But if I'm only going out for a day, this is more than enough power to keep all of my portable electronics really, really happy. And I'm happy to be out in the field. Now, one other trick I want to show you is what we call a Hydra cable. And I've talked about it before on the channel, but essentially, I don't know, a year or two ago, we came up with this new cable called the Hydra cable, which is essentially a USB-A on one end and 3 different connections on the other end. There's a USB-C, there's an Apple, and there's a micro USB. And this will allow you to expand those ports even further. So for example, I could plug that into one of the USB-A ports and immediately start charging, I don't know, let's charge a controller, USB-C. Boom, there's the controller charging. Maybe I want to charge my phone, that's an Apple connection. Boom, the Apple's charging, right? Maybe I want to charge my camera batteries because I take my camera out in the field with me. I got a Sony camera. This is a micro USB connection on the side of this charger, and boom, I'm charging that. So with one cable now, I'm maximizing the output from that USB-A connection and allows me to charge 3 devices at the same time. It's pretty powerful and it's pretty impressive. So with me, when I'm out in the field and I'm flying between, or I should say driving between locations, I'll have this on the floor, I'll have it plugged into my DC port in the car, and I'll have a Hydra cable like this set up that I'll use to charge my controller for the Air 2S. I'll use it to charge my Mavic 3 batteries off the USB-C. I'll even charge my phone, I'll charge my tablet, and they're sitting on the seat next to me. When I get to the location, 30, 45 minutes away, I've added a lot more power to those batteries, which allow me to fly a little bit longer when I'm out there in the field. And all of my portable electronics, like my phone and my tablet, in most cases are fully charged by the time I get there. So pretty cool product. Now, I like this so much. We actually did a lot of research on EcoFlow. I've reviewed a lot of their products, and I review a lot of portable power stations, and there's some brands out there that are pretty cool. I'll be reviewing a couple of those on the channel as well. But with EcoFlow, I was just so impressed with their engineering and their customer service and their care and their products in general that I actually worked a deal with them where Drone Valley is now an authorized retailer of EcoFlow products. So I've got links below to the Drone Valley website, and you might be thinking, Rick, I can buy these anywhere. They're available on Amazon. I can buy them directly from EcoFlow. Why would I buy them from you guys? Well, for starters, it's the same price you're going to get everywhere else, but we stand behind our products just like the other companies do. But if you have questions or problems, we'll be here to take care of it. We ship them immediately. You'll get them as quicker than you will from some of the other vendors. And on top of that, we thought, well, there's a lot of stuff you're going to want to use with this that'll cost you money to buy it later on. So we thought, why don't we build in a couple of bonuses? So if you buy it from Drone Valley for a limited time, we're going to include what we're calling a charger pack, which includes the Hydra cable I was talking about a second ago. So you'll get this wonderful Hydra cable with a USB-A on one end and 3 different flavors of connections on the other end. We also came out with a flex light a little while ago, which is this USB-A connected light where you plug it into a USB-A port. It's got a nice LED on the other end of it, so if you plug this guy in, it gives you a nice little light. That's handy when you're out in the field because having that with you means if it's getting a little bit dark and you got to look at something, you got a light right here where you can point it at it. Just a great way to use that. And then also we're going to include our beautiful Drone Valley pouch. This thing is gorgeous. We're so proud of this. We're calling it a gadget pouch because it's the perfect size to hold your Hydra cable, to throw the flex light in there, and take care of any little things that you might lose when you're out in the field. Maybe a spare set of joysticks if you're flying your drone, or who knows what you want to throw in there. You can almost fit a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in there. It's just about big enough for that. But anyway, you get this, you get the Hydra cable, and you get the flex light. All of those together are, I think, about $35 if you buy them individually, but we're including those as a bonus if you buy this through the Drone Valley website. So just wanted to give you that option, something to think about. And that's all I had for today. Now, I love exploring this kind of technology. And again, I spend a lot of time out in the field, flying drones, wandering the wilderness with my cameras and all the other portable gear that I use because I love being outdoors. And when I find something like this that I use, not just something I think is cool, but something I bought and I actually use, I like talking about it on the channel. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions about this or any of this massive gear I've got on the table here, drop me a message below and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. I've got links below for this. And again, if you get it through us, you get the bonus package as well. And that's pretty much it for today. So thanks an awful lot for watching. And until next time, happy flying.